Hi, I'm Keely from Retirement Dreams to Reality, and today I'm going to talk about a budget travel day at the Caravan and Motorhome Show. So we did buy these tickets, and I think these tickets were £14 each, but they included free parking. And we were hoping to get lots of ideas for a micro camper. Even though it was the Caravan and Motorhome Show, we thought it would be worth a visit.
Very cool, isn't it?
If you do go to this one, it was over about 7 or 8 halls. Obviously, with there being motorhomes and caravans, they're big items. So I think it started at hall 6 and went all the way to hall 18 or 21, something like that. You can see on the map where we are, and the halls go all the way round. And luckily there were lots of staff to tell us exactly what halls the exhibition was in. And you got a free map and a free booklet that had everything in it for you. And I think you can see quite clearly from this video, this is a Saturday morning and it really wasn't that busy. When we went to the gaming convention, you were literally like sardines. Here, just look how I'm just wandering freely around. It really was really spacious. Because it was over so many halls, everything wasn't really crammed in really tightly. So you had lots of space to explore and look at things from a distance as well, which is useful.
They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool.
Trailer tents.
These trailer tents were really, really interesting. They're very different to trailer tents of old from when I was little. I think they're air trailer tents, but they were very bougie and they had so much equipment in them. But as Bruce said, you're still towing. You're still having to tow something quite substantial, but look how plush that is. Look how luxury that is for a trailer tent.
You got your cooker. And if this is your...
There's one a little bit further on that has a huge awning attached to it. And it's absolutely massive with the awning as well. Oh, it's there, look.
That's it with an awning, look. So this is the awning.
Obviously, there are lots and lots of salesmen around and salespeople around because that's what they're there for. They're there to try and sell you something. But I don't think we were approached by even one person. There are that many people there who are wanting to buy things that they're busy with them. So if you are like us and you're more browsing and you're just wanting to explore, there isn't pressure. You're not going to be pressured by anyone.
If you went into a dealership this week to buy a caravan, there's probably nobody there. There's laughing at us.
Yeah.
We were surprised to see the little hobbit homes that we'd seen at Grand Designs Live 2 weeks earlier. But obviously, because it's caravan and motorhome, there were some outdoors things there. There were also lots and lots of accessories and equipment for caravans and motorhomes. I think you can see the bike trailers. There were lots of cool boxes, fridges. We didn't see that many things like clothing that wasn't related to caravan and motorhome. But one thing we did see that we'd missed from the Grand Designs Live were there were some food options too.
How cool are they?
Yeah.
These flexible solar panels looked quite interesting. This is the type of thing that I wanted to go to the Caravan and Motorhome Live for. This is a type of boot jump that would go in a micro camper, but this really was one of the only stands that we saw like that. But by this point I'd changed my mind anyway, so I wasn't too disappointed. But these were quite innovative.
Sorry.
didn't see any prices for these, but then again, I didn't ask. They're called Slidepods, and actually would be perfect for some sort of micro camper.
Or even the back of a car.
If you're actually thinking of purchasing a motorhome, I would say this show is an absolute must, because there are literally hundreds of them in one place. And you can, I think there are about 2 setups where you couldn't actually go in them by yourself, just wander in.
That's an old thing.
And there seemed to be plenty of staff to help out if you needed them. But as I mentioned, there was definitely no pressure because they were busy. They were really busy with people that were asking questions. So you could really nicely explore at your own pace without feeling any pressure from anyone. We saw some absolute beauties, but we don't have £100,000 to throw at a motorhome. That's quite a few years of retirement for us. As we are sort of novice, we're no experts on any of this, we were quite surprised at the difference in price for what seemed very similar. So we noticed that you could get a camper van motorhome for anything from about £50,000 to £120,000. Now, obviously, some of them were very different, but at times we would walk in one that was £50,000 and then walk in another one that was £80,000. And to our untrained eye, we couldn't really see any difference. But there's got to be, surely. Nobody's going to pay £30,000, £40,000 more than they need to unless they're getting something for it. But to our untrained eye, we didn't really see a lot of difference. But this video could literally just go on for hours showing you the hundreds and hundreds of different motorhomes. I particularly liked this one because it was like a micro camper but bigger. The whole layout, the rock and roll bed, the one swivel seat, where the sink was, where the storage was. It actually was like the micro camper but just a little bit bigger. And we had said if I'd still decided to buy a micro camper, this would have actually made me feel quite good about it, because for the price you're getting a hell of a lot compared to some of these slightly bigger ones.
I think all of these are.
It's got a roof as well, Keela.
Yeah, but you can get them. I think it was about £5 to have one.
Because you've got a bike, you're blocking it, but not there to go completely social.
You get ideas and you
The booklet that they give you, the brochure, is really good because it tells you haul by haul. You can search by brand. So if you wanted a Swift Kentucky, you could search by Swift. Or if you realise you wanted to go to Loudham Caravans, you can sort by dealer. So there are about 3 or 4 different ways to sort. There was just like an index, there was a dealer index, there was a brand index. So if you go with something very specific in mind, you shouldn't have any problems hunting it out and going to a certain place. But I hope this video shows you literally how calm and quiet it was, really, and how easy it was to explore all of the different things. I adored this caravan. This little one here is £25,000. Barefoot, they're called Barefoot caravans. It was fabulous. They also had one of these in the entrance hall. That is 25, look. The one that I'm going to now was 40,000 because that has an end bathroom, whereas the first one that we looked at, the Bothy, doesn't have a bathroom in it. It has a porta potty under a seat. We did wonder if there were more style over substance, but they're just beautiful. You can see the show offer there, £1,000 off. I think there's a bit of a waiting list for these too. I did take a brochure and a price list. They got a hell of a lot of interest at the show, look. Very retro.
Right.
It's so cute. The video we watched said this was small. How gorgeous is that? Just beautiful. So as well as camper vans and caravans, there were some other outdoorsy things. These, I think they were called cool bikes. They're electric bikes that look like vintage motorcycles. And they were absolutely fabulous. And I think they range from £2,000 to £3,000.
Oh, yeah, you would.
I mean, once again, we didn't get any details, and there may be more style over substance, but they were just fabulous looking. And we didn't think £2,000 to £3,000 for an electric bike was that much money, really.
No.
Darren's dream would have been a grand or a couple of grand.
No.
Coolerking, London, look. There's quite a lot of hype around them. I'm not sure how many they sold. I think they had show prices too. Lots and lots of stores had show prices. They were just fabulous. This one was beautifully posh. It was really plush. But I was shocked at how tight it was. I'm a size 10 and literally could barely walk through that gap to the main bedroom. People are spending literally £100,000 on some of these, and they're so tight. That's weird. That is weird.
And with the HC test now, if you're in an area like they've got the
Makes it bigger, doesn't it?
They are nice though. They're plush. How plush that is.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's only 75 only. This one's only 75. The other one didn't have a chair there, did it?
No.
This is wider as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a bit better, isn't it?
Definitely better than the other one. Although I always have a special offers here, and that was a standard across so many of the dealers. They had real show special offers. If you think you're spending £14 on a ticket, but you could save yourself thousands of pounds, as well as all the time with all of the motorhomes being in one place.
See, if it was me, I'd go for this. Wouldn't you?
Oh no, £64 is not much.
Yeah, it makes no sense, does it?
It's 77. Where's this one?
We had quite a nice time going in and out of all of the different camper vans and exploring different bathroom layouts, different bed layouts. I think Bruce quite enjoyed filming quite a few of these little bathrooms. And bearing in mind that we really didn't have any intention of buying a £100,000 motorhome, but we still had quite a nice day. So if you're intending on buying a 60 to 100,000 pound motorhome, then the world is your oyster at the Caravan and Motorhome Show. I think there's another one. This was one of them. I think there are about 3 or 4 of them around the country. I think one thing we didn't capture was some of the accessory stalls. So in the end, we did purchase something, but not a £100,000 motorhome. We bought 2 chairs, 2 camping chairs for our camping trips next summer. And I think we got a deal on those. So we probably saved about £20 on the camping chairs, even though we'd spent £28 on the tickets. Some of these bathrooms were so posh. Brown Hills. This is the type of layout we were looking at then.
Open that door. What's in
The
there?
fridge. This door.
Yeah.
This bathroom.
Oh, see, that's quite nice, isn't it?
Lovely. Look at the space. You could proper live in this. This is big space. What a
Decent shower.
So this one is only 52,000, but we couldn't always see a difference between this one and an 80,000 one. Very strange to us. It's probably the engine though, is it? The car it's built on, the van it's built on. 86. It doesn't have any. It's quite flush. This one I thought was laid out quite a lot like a caravan. It says hobby in there. It's nice. It's. That's a lot. A permanent bed. That's a lot, isn't it?
Mm.
Gone.
Mm.
A lot of space gone. So where's the bathroom? Can I have a look in the bathroom?
Open it if you want.
I would assume before we open it, because it's got a big double bed, I would assume it means the bathroom's quite a lot smaller. So we ended up strolling into our local caravan dealer's stand, Loudham Caravans, and we had a little look round theirs. And Brown Hills of Newark, which is also near us. So that's the good thing as well. You can find your local ones there and then maybe have a think about it when you get home. But obviously the show deals might not be on. I don't know how that works.
You've got a shower there and a bathroom separate.
Is that the bathroom, the toilet there? But you're forking out £100,000. Yeah, I can't go there. Yeah, it doesn't.
It closes there.
Ensuite.
That's quite funny.
So you go to bed at night and you've got your ensuite. That's quite clever.
Yeah, that is clever.
I think in summary, we would say if you're interested, it's a cheap day out to have a little look round. We had some nice food. We were there quite a few hours. It's not that far from us, so we did have a nice time. But if you're actually thinking seriously about buying a caravan or a motorhome, it's surely got to be an essential day out, because the sort of options that you see there, you're not going to get within a certain radius around where you live. There's literally hundreds of different motorhomes and dealers that you would not have access to. For example, if from Nottingham, we would not have access to all of those without literally travelling hundreds and hundreds of miles. So it's absolutely worth the £28 that we paid for both of us. But you got free parking with that, so that was also good. Places to eat. We went to Starbucks. There's a pub there, actually. There's a pub and a bar there where you can have... We watched one couple have a full-on meal with glasses of wine. But maybe they just spent £100 on a motorhome and they were celebrating. We don't know. But definitely a really nice day out. Really worth exploring. And if you're not buying a motorhome, you can still buy some accessories anyway. A bonus tip for our viewers is the start of the season show, the Caravan, Camping and Motorhome show, the 17th to the 22nd of February at the NEC Birmingham, have a discount code at the moment. If you type in early, you will get a discount on these tickets. You can buy them for only £11.
You're getting your 14 quid's worth every day.
Oh, easy.
So a few weeks earlier, we also visited the NEC for Grand Designs Live. And these tickets were totally free. So Grand Designs Live is described as a renovation and home design event. And we saw some free tickets on Facebook, and we'd been before. So we thought it'd be nice to have a day out investigating lots of different things. One of the first things that we noticed was the cooker, the heated taps where boiling water comes out. And we'd looked at one of those years ago, and I swear it was about £1,000, whereas now you can get one for a couple of hundred. Well, you could from the exhibition anyway. There were some really quirky, innovative things for your home and designing your home, which is to be expected with it being sort of a launch event for lots of different products. And one of the cafe areas was actually edged in and sort of cordoned in, boundaried by these really, really interesting bricks. I'm not sure you were supposed to play with them, but I did. It's like adult Lego. Another thing that we found, there were lots of things that you wouldn't necessarily associate with home and design. So there was a lot of gym equipment. So different treadmills and sort of weights, all of a home gym in one machine. And there was definitely more than one of these. And we've seen a couple of people review these on YouTube. We didn't stop and have a play, but we did have a little look at them.
I'm sure Matt does fitness did something.
As with the previous Grand Designs that we've been to, there are definitely certain things that are special prices for the event. So we decided quite early on that if you needed certain items of furniture, it was absolutely worth a visit because they had some real special prices called event deals. There were quite a few different places to purchase tables, to purchase sofas, to purchase garden furniture, to purchase tiles, to purchase carpets. So there are a lot of different places where even if you've already designed your home and you wanted to buy certain things to furnish it, you were getting some very good deals at the NEC Live.
Able money.
Actually, that's too nice. That's not bad. I would love this.
And one thing that we absolutely fell in love with, and we thought there is a possibility we might buy one when we downsize and retire, was this garden room.
That is amazing.
It was absolutely stunning. And that also had a special show price. It had like a log burner inside to warm it up. It had rugs. It was just gorgeous. It was like a little hobbit house. I was surprised to see that it even had quite a few little windows in it. So you can sit and look outside at your garden whilst in the warmth of the little hobbit cabin. Bruce, everything is included.
I love this.
Every bit of this is 10 grand.
I would spend.
That's wild.
I would spend 10 grand on this.
What do you think it costs 20 grand to have our garage?
Yeah, I'd rather have had this.
Oh, one thing I didn't mention earlier is there were also quite a few places to buy art. There was a lot of places with vases and paintings, and I mentioned garden furniture, but you just saw a little glimpse then. There was also sort of water fountains, garden features. So if you don't want to do the big architecture thing, you're not designing a huge kitchen or you're not designing a whole house, there's definitely lots of things to buy and to look at the Grand Designs Live. You don't just need to be doing a huge project. And as with lots of things at the NEC, they had live speakers, so they had like guest speakers. This one here is previous people who have been on Grand Designs. So you know how they do a revisit or these were some of the people that had been on and built their own homes. So they were doing like a Q&A and a presentation. And I think there are at least 3 or 4 of these different speakers around the hall.
Nothing it's like these palm pines, right? And then they said, and that was 5 years ago. And I'm like, hang on a minute, this revisit was revisit was ages ago.
Some of the furniture was really, really reasonably priced, but there were other things that it wasn't in our price range. It was very, as I would say, bougie. But there did seem to be something for everyone in terms of price range. Coming up shortly will be some garden furniture. And we actually don't need garden furniture, but it was such an absolute steal, we did think about it. Just talking about things being bougie, when I was about 8, I had a light-up globe that cost about £25. These light-up globes are about £1,000. As you can see, it wasn't over busy. You had plenty of room to walk around. You didn't really bump into people that much. We once went to a gaming convention at the NEC and it was very, very claustrophobic. But here there was plenty of room to explore and walk around without being too confined or crowded. Loads of space to walk around and explore all of the camper vans. One thing I noticed that they had here, as well as various coffee shops dotted around, they had a speak to the expert section. So they had various sections around the hall where if you took a seat, then one of the stands that was there had staff that would come and speak to you about various things. So like a little bit of free advice. Now I'm sure in the end they would try and sell you their services, but the fact that you could have an informal chat with so many people in one space must have been really, really useful for people who were designing their own homes. We'd said that if we were ever in the market to buy some new garden furniture, we would absolutely come to Grand Designs Live because there were so many options. Obviously not garden furniture like this. This is so bougie. It was absolutely beautiful. And that's a small one. There were some absolutely huge ones, which clearly must only be for like $1 million homes. They were just amazing. But they had so much basic garden furniture too, which you wouldn't necessarily think about for Grand Designs Live. It wasn't like the gardening show or anything like that, but some beautiful, beautiful options for your garden.
This is like Lewis's in-laws. They had like this built onto their house.
This one has a full like dining table, a full bar, a full lounge, just like a huge setup. It reminded me of America, quite American.
Like that was like what they were like. And that was built onto the house.
And here I'm just giving an example of show prices. The fact that they do special offers, and they seem to be genuine special offers at the show.
Yeah, so there's little show prices for lots of things, not massive.
They had some free entry competitions. I entered a competition to win a fluffy chair. I didn't win it, but it was worth a punt for free.
Fiji Bianco.
That's nice. This furniture's nice, look.
Yeah.
You've probably seen these pods before. I think they sell them in our local John Lewis. And when you see them on their own in John Lewis, they look quite spectacular. But surrounded by all of these different options at the Grand Designs Live, they really didn't cut it. It's quite funny, actually, that when they were surrounded by so many other things, they weren't as impressive. So our summary of the Grand Designs Live was we didn't pay for tickets. I think it cost us £8 for parking. And we actually had a really good day, even though we're not designing our own home. We didn't speak to architects. We didn't look at fancy windows or anything like that. So if you are designing your own home and you are doing a huge project from scratch, it would 100% be useful. But we also said if you were making a purchase for your home, like garden furniture, a garden building, even various things for your garden like planters, water fountains, if you wanted garden furniture, if you wanted home furniture, anything like that, then it was worth it. It was a nice day out. We enjoyed it, and we would probably go back if it was free. If we weren't doing an important project, I'm not sure we would have paid the £18 that it would have cost for a ticket. But we had a lovely day and saw lots and lots of different useful things. So that's Keely from Retirement Dreams to Reality. Thanks for watching.